The Hooligans Pitch, episode 131. Chad, what is going on in this Friday evening?
Oh, I'm just glad there's soccer on that Wednesday or whatever. I don't even know what day it was.
It threw my week off for
Terrible
sure.
day.
It was a terrible day.
What was I supposed to do all day?
Well, you went to a soccer game. Let's calm down now. You still had
Later,
us.
later.
Okay. Yeah, midday, no footy. First day in quite a while. It was, it was kind of a nice break considering what our week looked like. We
Yeah.
had time to digest. We had time to take a break from stats for a moment.
Yeah.
This time of year when we do this type of stuff is just like every day. It's just there's something to plug.
Lot.
There's something
Yeah.
to look at. And that Wednesday was a little a breather in all this. And now
It was it was a nice breather, but I did miss just having something going on midday to
true.
keep an eye on or check in on.
Yeah. And now that we're in, the quarters here and things are shaping up, we have to reflect a little bit. We got to go back a couple days.
Gotta go back.
We got to go back to our Monday evening. I think is where we begin and what we were feeling, because I was like, I'll start first before we get to the actual game. I was in the morning. I was like, you know what? Like, I'm a little like suspicious of how we're going to be today. I'm a little scared Belgium's going in. We had this Trump controversy to start the day. Yeah, good timing to open that. I'm double fisting. I got a pills and a seltzer in this hand.
Wow, okay.
So yeah, you hit me with yours too.
Summerfest lager, have to get it while you can. So.
Beautiful. Back to it. It just felt a little weird that morning when we saw that the joke we had honestly made on the pod, where I was like, there's no way this is going to happen. And then all of a sudden we get reports that Trump's talking to Infantino about stuff that's already being in the works with United States Soccer Federation and probably happened immediately after that game, trying to get Balogun's red card appeal done. And then when the news came out Sunday afternoon that the red card had been lifted, I was conflicted. And so I'm curious what your thoughts were on that.
I mean, the obviously, like, the US fan in me felt some vindication in that, like, this was an incorrect red card. I thought it was more that it was appealed and overturned rather than just straight up FIFA or Infantino or whoever, put this arbitrary delay on the suspension. It's a weird one. It made me think, even before that game, like, do you still start Balogun? Only because he went from, I'm starting these games mentality to like accepting that red card and dealing with whatever comes with that, to right back to I'm starting, where it's like, even regardless of the drama that could create within the squad, I think as a player and especially in like a tournament sense, I think once you check out a little bit, not that I'm saying he did, but just like to be able to turn off because he knew he wasn't going to play that game. I don't know that you can turn it back on like to the same degree, right?
For sure. He was riding a high all tournament, and then that happens. That definitely messes up your psyche. And then having to turn it all back on again when he probably fully accepted he was not going to play that game.
Sure.
Same with Poch, same with the team, same with Pepe. Like, I'm sure everyone was in a different mindset preparing for Monday. And then to have that happen, I think it was like 36 hours before game time, something around there. Belgium complained too that now they had to readjust. It felt like a lose situation, except for the United States has Balogun back, which of course you're like, awesome. Like, we have our striker back. This is what we need to win. But at the same time, before we get into it, maybe you didn't. There's pathways we could have taken here that we'll never know of. The what ifs are crazy. In 20 years, you could say like, well, of course Balogun was going to play that game. Like, it was the best thing to do. But like right now, I don't know. It didn't feel right afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a weird position to be in, right? Like if FIFA would have just came out and said, "Oh yeah, we got the appeal from the US Federation and we agree it was incorrect," boom, overturned. I think that would have solved and quieted so much noise
Yeah,
instead of just coming out and really giving no reasoning other than because we can. And I don't know how much Trump actually played into it. I don't know if he likes to take credit for things and throw his name on things, so like
for sure.
maybe he was involved, maybe he wasn't, but I think it did just bring like such a increased spotlight to this game, and rightfully so, Belgium was upset and put out their initial statement of being kind of shocked and disappointed in that decision to delay his suspension. And then I think they said something of like they were like prepping legal action if this game didn't go their way,
Right.
and which I get. Like there's no indication of what procedure was or wasn't followed to overturn this red card. Well, not even overturn, but delay the suspension, which you know uh, we've seen a handful over, I guess, this whole cycle of qualifying and gameplay. But um, you would hope come tournament time, like everything's just done by the book, right? Like we kind of already agreed that it does feel harsh to get the red card in one game and have to miss that next round. Um, but that's just the way it's laid out, right? So it should follow that, and I don't know. I think it certainly motivated Belgium more. I think
Yes.
that's fair to say.
They might
Both
say
team
otherwise,
fans,
but
they might, but that's free for the coach to be like, look, not even that US is cheating, but like they got handed this reprieve, right? And now we're the underdogs, right? So let's like
for
push
sure.
forward and use all this motivation and momentum, and um, I think they did. I think we helped them a lot too, but it's
So that was my morning. And then
yeah.
as we got closer to game time, I won't lie, I was pretty pumped. I was
Hmm.
like, I think we're gonna do it. I think we're gonna beat this team. I saw him come out of the pitch. I was like, okay, we look motivated.
Hmm.
Um, I felt really good. I felt energized. I was locked in. I didn't even go out in the living room. I sat right here at my computer and I was this far away from the screen watching.
Yeah.
And then the whistle goes. And then it looked really bad for I guess it was what, roughly six minutes when they score at the eighth,
8, 9, yeah, 9, yeah.
ninth minute. Those first, we'll just call it the first 8 minutes. I felt I felt like it was like 2010 2014 ish. Not even those squads. It felt like it was the worst game I've ever seen us play in an 8 minute stretch to begin a game. And I'm sure there were
Yeah.
games like the Trinidad Tobago. I'm sure those games
Oh,
had
sure. Yeah.
probably similarities to this, but that was the worst I could remember watching us come out against a Belgian team who all of a sudden said, we're going to come out really hot. And I'd watch every Belgian game this year in the Cup. And again, I felt like we were going to beat them because they had no fight. They had
Yeah.
no press. And then whatever they did in that first 8 minutes broke the U.S. psychologically.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what really happened in between, the highs of beating Bosnia and the energy that like felt like was what was following the team through this entire tournament, and then yeah, blowing this whistle. I get it's it's pretty much that final boss of US, right? Like we don't really get past this phase ever. So and then to be against Belgium, who, is we have a little bit of history with, I guess you could say. So I thought the team was gonna be like really up for it and come out mostly the same they had done all previous games of coming out pretty quick and quick movements, quick passing, playing your triangles, moving the ball well, and it was just none of that. Everyone looked scared and nervous and disorganized.
The biggest one was looking at the dribbles and what player was completing dribbles, and it was almost no one.
Yeah,
I think
I believe it.
Pulisic was the big one. Dest was a big one. Ball at their feet and the ball just slipping away. Our passes had no zip to them. We were trying to get too fancy with back heels at times to players, and it was it was a rough one, especially up until we scored our goal. Then that miracle deflection to screw Courtois up. I was like, dude, I was like, holy shit, there's a chance.
Yeah,
I was like,
that
this.
was
Yeah, go ahead.
that was it exactly. Though, it was like it was such a bad start, and I was like, okay, it's one goal, plenty of time left. Like the guys started to look like they were getting at least a little more into the game.
For sure.
And then, we get that goal and I thought, okay, back to square one. Let's go.
It felt like a total reset. It was like,
absolutely.
I think the crowd felt it. I think even some of the players felt it. It was like, okay, like we got an opportunity here now to regroup, adjust, and just like relax, right? We had 30 minutes to like get this out of our system. And then again, the defensive lapse in the back, Belgium just wanted it more in those moments. So for them to, it was 66 seconds between our goal and their goal. And it was that was a gut punch, but again, it wasn't like we're not fully out of this thing, right? Go into second half, we make some adjustments. Berhalter comes in with a little bit of energy and spark. And then Freeze makes the blunder of the tournament at this point.
Yeah, I think you could say so.
I don't know if we've seen one worse. I mean, we've seen errors, but that was to do that where he was and have that hesitation. And then the player who kicked it, Vanaken, almost kicked Ream it was a terrible shot. Ream probably could have like adjusted a little bit different and blocked it from going in, but that's not on Ream at all.
No.
That was it felt like a dagger. I was like, I don't see us climbing out of this one now.
I mean, dagger, because I think on 2 counts, like it, increases their lead to 2, right? And then it came in a period where the US was looking like they were on top, and it was looking like Belgium didn't really know what to do. Like we had so much control and possession in that first 15 minutes, and it was looking likely that US would find their way into another goal at least. And then here's this just like not even a brain fart. It's like his brain just like fell out of his head or something.
It was like he had the yips. It was like he went to kick it. And I don't really know I still don't really understand why he hesitated to kick it. He would have been fine if he just cleared it. And then I first glance, I thought he got fouled. I was like, foul. I was like, how do you not like?
Yeah.
And then when they showed the side replay, and it wasn't even close. I was just like,
geez.
Oh, dude, I put my hands in my head and I just couldn't believe it. I was so sick, and embarrassed. It was like I believed in this team. I knew I was gonna get my heart torn out. I just didn't expect it to be like that. I wish, watching Mexico England the night before, you see Mexico dying on the pitch. It looked like they were ready to kill someone to find a way to these goals. And I would argue we were the worst team out of Canada and Mexico, in this round. It was a bummer. It was a bummer.
Yeah, I mean, it just it started bad, then got good, and it looked like it was going to get better, and then the freeze mistake happens, and then it was just so flat from there. I think that took so much wind out of the sails,
For sure.
and I think unfortunately, I think this team doesn't seem to have like a good leader, I guess. Like the commentators made mention of it, I think, during the second half hydration break, that there's no one like gesturing of like, lock in, we got this, let's get it back. It was very much just everyone in the huddle, listen to Poach, whatever. But I started thinking back to, you would see Clint Dempsey's and Tim Howard and um,
Jermaine Jones,
Jermaine Jones.
big
Thank
one.
you.
Yep.
They would be like, they would be fired up and be yelling at guys and getting them going. And yeah, there's, at least visually, no one really doing that here. Which, probably says something too. Like, uh, you know, you need someone to kind of kick some players in the butt sometimes. And I don't think this team had that guy or anyone close to it. And, it's not a thing you can really teach. It's just, some people are those leaders. Some people are that player. And, we give Pulisic the Captain America and all this. And like, it's kind of like Landon Donovan was saying, it's like, if, he's not a leader, like Landon himself said, he wasn't the leader type. Like, he doesn't want that role necessarily. And I think that's fine. Like, you don't have to, you can be the star or one of the better players and not necessarily be that guy, but you need someone in that team to do it. And yeah, if you're gonna go out, you gotta have some fight. And we didn't really have the fight that I wanted to go out on.
Yeah, if we would have lost this game and it was a like I think Carly Lloyd said it, like even if we lose this game, like it'll be an accomplishment. And then she came back and said, I didn't mean if we got our asses kicked, this would be an accomplishment. And I don't really blame her for restating what she originally said in just a different type of context. We have we have bright spots on this team. And you can kind of tell the guys who are playing in Europe versus not Europe. I mean,
Sure.
Tillman's young, Balogun's young, Des is young. I think McKinney, I kind of wish he stepped up a little more here too.
Yeah.
But even watching I think Robinson was probably our best player on the pitch that night. And just the way he moves was so different from everyone else. He's like a step ahead from where everyone else was thinking and going. And I could see his frustration going because our players need to come from, I think, Premier League. I think we need to find a way to get more guys over there.
Yeah.
It's the best league in the world for a reason. Our best players that day were likely Richards and Robinson. We talk about leadership. I think someday it's going to be Richards. I think he's on that pathway, being one of the better defenders, not just for Palace, but in the Premier League as a whole. He's going to be that guy there real soon, right under LaCroix. And you're right, though. We don't really have a dog, right?
Yeah. And I kind of thought it'd be Tyler Adams,
Me
but
too.
I mean, we took him off anyway. But like,
Right.
I thought he would be, that dog, that guy that like.
I think he's too nice.
I guess so, but maybe the way he plays and like kind of controls that midfield, I thought he was kind of that guy as well. But yeah, I think basically we got to do what a lot of these smaller countries do, and we have been doing of reaching out through lineage and everything and finding the guys that are at the very least trained in Europe and kind of come up in the football world rather than here where it's still very much pay to play. And there's all the articles coming out now of how much it costs to raise your kid in a American soccer system to try and get to a high level. And, I don't see that changing anytime soon. Why would these, companies that have been established change that now? I
Right.
don't think they will. So I think you gotta fan out and find those people who have some connection that, you're Cabo Verde and stuff. It's a lot of guys from Netherlands and France and whatever, but have that connection through lineage to the country. And sure, maybe they are not the quality of to make, Netherlands national team, but I think still just coming up in those countries and those programs and the football they play, you're already a step ahead of a lot of American education on that and experience.
It's fair to say. I felt like we were like that heavily in 2014. Felt like we had a lot of German Americans. Now it's being a little bit more spread out through the world.
Yeah.
And I was watching some Christian Pulisic highlights too of him like 6 years ago or so.
Yeah.
He had some pep in his step back then, and I'm like, if this squad currently built had a younger Pulisic as a non-leader, I was like, I think we would have been better. Like, yeah, of course he gets better with age, but for him, he was so raw and just quick, and like, he didn't seem so like he cared so much 6 years ago about how he performed. He was just there to like ball out and sprint and do like be a hyper energized bunny on the pitch. And it's like, we didn't get that at all this World Cup. Pulisic was like a shell of himself. And like, yeah, injury happens. They said he fractured his leg in that game, which, people are saying like a fracture can mean a bone bruise. That just is like a painful one. Whatever happens to him is fine, but like, I think you're right. There needs to be someone else. We need to get, I think, a little younger this next World Cup too. I want to read this text I got from my buddy Mark. He said this was supposed to be our golden generation. Every major player in their prime playing for huge clubs in Europe. Somehow, literally no injuries outside of Pulisic. Nobody was suspended for this game. We had home World Cup. We paid for a class coach to lead us. Sure, we played a bit better style, but we have to be beyond moral victories. Losing again in the round of 16, just like we always do. I consider this a failure. I don't disagree.
Yeah. I mean,
considering what we brought in for this cup.
Yeah, I think I was kind of thinking about this today as, I was watching Spain and Belgium play, and then, for a while it looked like Belgium was at least going to take Spain to extra time there. And I was thinking, did we, like, as a country and fan base, like, did we, like, Belgium golden generation, our golden generation here? Like, we hyped them up so much, and I think everyone was within reason for a lot of the hype of, and it's added a little bit of, home World Cup, so that adds some more flavor to it. But like, I don't think anyone was thinking we're going all the way necessarily, but we did put a lot of hype into this team, and I like that. That's fun. I want to believe in these tournaments, right?
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to go and expect them to go
Anything
out.
Can happen.
So that was great. But then, I was just thinking, like, maybe we just, it's the rose tinted glasses or something. Like,
you just got, are we delusional?
I mean, I think it's in there somewhere, but
yeah, of course. I mean, considering, we were in the round of 16 4 years ago and played the Netherlands and like totally expected to lose that one, right? That would have been a miracle game if we win that. And then 4 years prior, we're not even in the World Cup.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, we had a lot of hype and a lot of belief into this one because of what we expected to beat what we did 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a great group stage, go into a round of 16 against a team that is, we'll call it past their prime.
Sure.
And, the hope and expectation, I think, was legitimate. I think we should have, I honestly, like, if we played our way, like how we did in the group stage, we should have beat this Belgian team. 4-1 feels crazy inaccurate for how we built ourselves up in this World Cup and how everyone played the prior 4 games. We give, I think Belgium deserves credit, and in the way they came out so strong, and that just it fucked us, totally fucked up our mental, and like, and then when we get up, I don't know if you saw Pochettino when we gave up the second goal, he kicked that.
Oh, he was pissed.
Yeah, he was pissed, and I don't blame him, because it's like, as a coach, what are you supposed to do there? Like that's all on your team, not playing the right way, and not settling down, 60 seconds after you scored. That's crazy work. Crazy.
Yeah.
So here we go. 4 more years.
Back to the drawing board.
Back to the drawing board. Do you expect to lose Pochettino?
I do, but I think they need to do everything they can to keep him. I think, a lot of the friendlies and the lead up to the World Cup was a lot of question marks, but I think a lot of that was just, weeding through the players that he could trust and that fit his system and everything. So I think, considering how we played in the group stage and round of 32 and at times even this game, I think his style and how he wants to play works, at least with these players. So if we give him, a whole cycle to find who he wants, and just even more time with the players, and continue to build, and hopefully find some raw young next potential star player, I think it's worth a shot. Like, I just don't know who else you go to, right? Like, as much as we want to see the players come from European leagues and countries and stuff, like, I think the manager side is pretty much the same, right? It can't be, I don't think it can be an American manager. I just don't think there's enough high level experience that, maybe we can get through the CONCACAF teams and other South American teams and, some of the other world. But I think still you come up against European teams, you need someone that's kind of born and bred in that football education and world to understand like what the task is, I guess, maybe.
Mourinho is on the wish list if it doesn't pan out with Madrid and Pochettino leaves. Not just for the media, but I feel like he could ground this team. He could keep us grounded in moments like these.
Yeah.
Not saying Poch can't either, but if Poch leaves, that's who I want next. Mostly because the availability, like what manager,
Sure, yeah.
unless Pep gets an insane offer, which I
mean, yeah, like, if you have one of those top coaches and they somehow agree to coach the US, sure, take it,
right.
whether Poach is still here or not. Like, I think you got to take your chance, but I just think you have to go to like a known quality coach still. Like, it can't be like an up and comer or
Sure.
like a good MLS coach turned national team.
Can't
like,
be Landon.
No, certainly not. Yeah, like, I don't want any of that. I don't need the coach to buy in necessarily to the U.S. culture and all that. Like, at the end of the day, I just want to see this team play well and win the games they're supposed to, and again, make the fans and country believe and have fun in this tournament, because it only comes, every 4 years. So you want to have that delusion, right?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's been a ride. The amount of believers, the amount of texts, the amount of conversations just with anyone. There was definitely a wave, and we rode it for a little bit.
Yeah.
So I got, I'm thinking of coaches here who are probably going to get let go. The only coach who's going to probably be available at Dawn is Roberto Martinez.
Yeah, no.
But I could see the U.S. doing it in a state of not desperation, but like, hey, he's available. We don't have a coach right now. He's coached Belgium. He's coached Portugal. We're next. I weirdly see a future of that happening,
Yeah, I
and
can see it.
that's my only one out there where I'm like, there's of course multiple coaches that are going to get let go here soon when the cup ends, or
Yeah.
just by their own choosing. Pochettino was asked the question too before the game started: how do you win a round of 16 game? And I don't know if did you hear his answer?
No.
He said, "I don't know. I've never been here before." And I was like, honest. I was like, I don't know if I love it as a
Yeah.
coach. I don't know if I love that answer to hear it as a media and a fan, but like honest as can be. So
Yeah.
I hope now, since he's been here before and he lost, he can do some type of reflection and continue with this job to hopefully get back to this position where he can get asked that same question again 4 years from now and have an answer. That's what I
Yeah.
want in these next 4 years, is to have an answer on how you win a round of 16 game. So that's
Yeah.
if he can do that and at least get this team, if we lose again in the round of 16 in 4 years, in a way where we showed passion and
Mhm.
belief and heart, unlike this game, um, I'm all for it. Again, I can handle a loss. I can't handle a shit
Yeah.
show that happened and lose beating ourselves, right?
Yeah. It's Belgium did everything they needed to do and squarely beat us, but yeah, I'd almost argue almost every goal was off of some mistake from the US.
First goal,
Which
bounce in the box, three guys standing around it. No one went for
can't
it.
have that.
All
Yeah.
right. Next one, Ream just getting absolutely bodied.
Yeah.
Matt Freeze with the Mr. Freeze. And then that fourth Lukaku goal. By that point, we were mentally tapped out. Was there an error?
Yeah.
Was there an error in
I
that one?
mean, I don't know that there was an error necessarily, but everyone was just so casual on the ball.
Yeah,
I
they
think
just
they just, that 93rd minute, they knew the writing was on the wall there. So I don't even really care too much about that goal, but um, yeah, it is what it is. It's how it goes sometimes. You just wish it was a better exit.
I don't remember my exact feelings from 2014. I don't think they were this. I think we were so close in
Yeah.
2014. It hurt more.
Yeah.
This one is just like, what the hell, dude? Like, I didn't watch the final whistle after I saw Lukaku goal. I was like, I'm done. I just walked away.
Yeah.
I was like, this is over. Which is one of the first games I think this World Cup. I said like, yeah, I'm gonna walk away before the final whistle. So, you know, we go again in 4 years. I'm probably gonna have the same hope and belief. I will get to look back on this though, and
Yeah.
maybe rewatch our 30-minute rant on expectations and who will be playing.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's just, again, a moment for the US to just really take a look at in the mirror of like what they are and what they want this men's team to be, right? Like we had that whole reset and falling out after not making the World Cup, going out to Trinidad, that seemed to produce, a more focused US
Oh,
Federation.
we hit the panic button.
We hit the panic button. So I don't know that you need to necessarily hit the panic button again, but I think you need to take a serious look at what succeeded, what failed, and make a plan from there. I don't think you can just kind of like just move forward and hope for better in 4 years. You do need to do some digging into the details of especially why the team came out so poorly here. Maybe it was just nerves. This was the biggest game for a lot of these players that maybe they'll ever play. So I get that, but like I don't know. You got to do some digging, fix some wrongs, and just kind of decide. Like, yeah, are we? Do we want to be one of the top nations in a World Cup, or are we okay being this like middle of the road? We know the American fans will get behind them, so they'll buy tickets, buy jerseys, whatever, and like that's that. Like obviously, I hope they want to push forward here, but I
got a
don't know.
they got a lot of fans that have newly entered this team, so
Mhm.
it feels way different from 2022.
Yeah.
Summertime definitely helps, right? So it's really the
Mhm.
first summer World Cup for us since 2014. That goes a long way.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll see what changes happen. I'm sure we'll see some interesting things coming out of this next year,
Yeah.
and what moves will be made for our top tier guys. I think Tillman, everyone has him highlighted and is going to
Mhm.
see what his future is. But I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to close the doors here. I've had 5 days to,
Yeah.
to think about what was going to be said here, but I got it out.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean,
I didn't
again,
cry.
it's a really fun run. It was fun to believe and dream. Just wish it was a better exit.
Yep. Yep. All right. Let's just take a look at the bracket here. So we last really spoke before the round of 16 began.
Mhm.
You want to just jump around at games and talk about it a little bit?
Yeah.
Anywhere you want to start?
I mean, I feel like you got to start with the maybe controversial, maybe not Argentina-Egypt game.
Let's do it. Um, where do you specifically want to start in that game? How about Egypt going up 2-0 by the
Mhm.
80th minute? You could argue it could be 3-0. However,
Yeah.
however, the second goal they would have gotten around the 60th minute, um, overturned by VAR.
How do you feel?
Conflicted. I'm conflicted.
Yeah.
Um, they say if Argentina was on the other side of that, it would have been ruled a goal. We'll never know. We'll
Yeah,
never know.
I don't care to get into that discussion, but
It's things like this though that are turning off new football fans,
uh-huh.
going, why was a foul that wasn't called on the pitch looked at by a video assistant referee and then a goal was removed? And I got to come in because you and I are the experts here and have to try to explain this. And that one, all I could say was the foul led to a build up and scoring a goal. And then the questions get asked of, well, when does that build up technically end?
Yeah.
I don't know. How many more passes was Egypt had to make for that foul to be considered out of date? I don't really know what to call it at that point.
Yeah. I mean, he's same way. My mom was asking me like, because of course all the articles are coming out that Egypt is saying it's corrupt and yada yada, and she was asking me about it more, and I was like, yeah, like technically that was a foul, and they will check the phase of play leading up to a goal, right? Like that's nothing new, but I think when you're passing and dribbling and sprinting all the way across the pitch, there's probably a change in phase of play there somewhere.
Right. It makes you think, oh, like how many passes need to be, when does the change of when does the phase end? I wish there was a definition or something where if the ball crosses half or if 5 passes are made or some type of number here that is a
Yeah.
distinct, because this is subjective, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Define it. You can't. When does the phase of play start and end? If you're saying it starts at a foul and ends at a goal, well, what about all the in between, right?
Yeah.
And then we saw, correct me if I'm wrong, Egypt go through something similar, where Egypt got fouled and then um, I
Yeah,
believe
it
I
was
believe they got a shot, or did they score afterwards? I remember it happened in Mo.
um I don't remember if they scored right after. I think it must have been. It was something like very similar to it. I don't on replay, I don't think it was necessarily a foul on Mo, but um, They might have gone down and scored off of that one.
I think it was. I think it was
I
a Messi
forget.
goal.
Oh, yeah. I think you might be right. Um, yeah, I mean, look, if they win it in this tackle that was a foul, and then just like hoof that ball, route one, direct pass to the striker or whoever, and he grabs the ball down, dribbles a little bit, shoots and scores. I think you could argue that's one phase, right? Like foul is justified to call back there. Okay, cool, whatever. But this one's like foul tackle is made, not called on the pitch. There's, I mean, I don't have it in front of me, but a handful of passes, some runs made. Again, it's almost the entire length of the pitch. I think, regardless of it, I guess being one phase and motion, like I think there's enough time that Argentina or the defending team could step in to try and win that ball, like they do. And if you get past that, like that's just it. Like I don't think it necessarily has to. What, a phase ends when the other team gets the ball, or
That's what
it
makes me
just
wonder too. If it would have hit an Argentinian player in all this too,
Mhm.
does that change the phase of play? And I have it on right now, so I kind of scoped it again.
Yeah,
And I could argue, you could argue. I'm not sure who was running with the ball, but they were continuously grabbed and harassed
yeah,
all the way down the pitch. Um, it's it was an incredible goal. The fact
yeah,
that VAR stepped in after the ref didn't see anything too brash,
yeah,
um, to remove that, man. And then he took off his shirt and celebrated Zico and didn't get a yellow, right?
yeah,
Which I'm like, okay, if you're gonna take away a goal, giving someone a yellow for celebrating it in this fashion would have been,
yeah.
harsh, but correct, right? He should have got a yellow.
Correct. But but again, I think if you take the goal away, he's not taking his shirt off if he didn't score the goal.
It's good common sense. It was the right thing to do at that point, but that's like, who gives a shit at that point, right? You take the
Yeah,
goal. Um, and then he scores again a couple of minutes later, ball don't lie type scenario.
yeah,
Um, and then, you know, good teams, we talked about this on the last pod, good teams will chip away at you until the
yeah,
break. And England's going to do it. Argentina's going to do it. France hasn't even been in that situation, but they're going to do it.
yeah,
Um, so did the right team win here? I think is the true question to ask. And I think it's an impossible question to answer even
yeah,
because you feel for Egypt, but Argentina did something special again in the last 10 minutes and just put pressure on them. It's tough. It's tough.
yeah. I mean, it's impossible to know. It's if you saw Messi crying at the end of this game, like I think he really thought that team was going home, and his maybe international career, certainly his back-to-back World Cup chance was over. But so I don't know, like if that disallowed goal is allowed, I mean, I guess you would assume Argentina start pushing up earlier. That still leaves them exposed in the back because of that. So that second Zico goal very well could have still happened at some point, but you're just in the fantasy world
The
now. Like
multiverse, where are we going?
yeah, it's impossible to say. So
Right.
I guess, man, team that got the most goals won. So I guess that's the right team to win it. It doesn't always pan out exactly as it's looking like it will, or even stats say. I mean, stats show that Argentina was better anyway, but um, a lot of that I think came in that last 15-20 minutes. But
Yeah, they controlled the game though for the most part.
yeah,
I mean, look at the shots, 19-5. It's
yeah,
the pressure was there. Um, Yeah, it's just, Messi missing a PK too is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was all. Again, I felt for Egypt so much. Felt for Mo. I was like, dude, I think before the 80th minute or so, I was like, I think Egypt's gonna do it. I really did believe. The way they were playing was excellent, and then again, it was just chip away, chip away, chip away. So this next game for Argentina, though, is going to be fascinating.
Mhm.
Switzerland's been pretty solid at the back, so it's I don't think goals are going to come easy, but you never know with this team, dude. They always seem to find a way. I think we're shaping up to see a France Argentina final once again.
I think so. Um, I mean, yeah, just to jump to France against Morocco, like
Business as usual.
is yeah, like I think we were kind of aware of how Morocco had been performing. All right, like they weren't blowing teams away necessarily. Like most of these games ended a little bit late for them. Yeah, they got through Canada, fairly easy, but every other time it was like it was rough. It wasn't. Certainly wasn't the France cruising through kind of
No,
attitude. So, um, but then yeah, for France to roll in here and just continue to just cruise on through was like, oh, okay, this team is bound for the final.
this team is different. We're gonna France and Spain are next. I, I don't feel good for Spain at all right now. I don't think Spain is playing that great.
Yeah,
I think France is going to come in and just probably score 2 early goals and keep it going. It's crazy to say Spain hasn't been playing great. Yeah, this is the first game they gave up a goal. Um,
yeah,
right? And you could argue it was competition they've been going against too, but it's not like the Euro Spain where the ball was zipping around the pitch and Yamal was
yeah,
playing out of his mind. Um, it's different. It's definitely different. But the way France is playing, dude, especially if we go back just one more game to the Paraguay game, their toughest matchup. But boy, did Paraguay get away with murder that
oh
game.
jeez, yeah,
Um, for them to only win 1-0 was a surprise. It does make you say, okay, Paraguay had a game plan and they stuck to it, and they did a decent job at it. But the way that game was officiated was crazy.
yeah. There's
Uh,
bloodbath out there.
First game for Paraguay where they didn't get a card since like 1994. Something crazy like that. It was in the 90s. It was 94 or 98. I don't remember which one
Wow.
it was.
Yeah.
And you could argue multiple red cards should have been shown to
Oh,
them. So
yeah, for sure.
it's like, so what are we doing as VAR in this cup here? Are we not looking at
Yeah.
violent conduct? Yet we'll go overturn a goal 100 yards down the pitch. We'll look at Balogun's foul on an ankle mid-air
Yeah.
freeze shot, but we won't look at guys actively punching other players. It's crazy. So whatever happened with that, I don't necessarily get it. I don't get what happened in that game. I don't know how they got away with all that.
Yeah. That was certainly a weird one. It was like I feel like sometimes I do have to remind myself that, this is FIFA's like key product here. Like they want they want good games, but they want the upsets as well, just to like generate all the online talk and everything. I don't know if you're talking to refs of like, look, it's France. They're obviously going to be very good, but like give Paraguay a real chance here. Like relax on some calls. I don't know that they're going that far. Suspending some red cards, it's not out of the question, I guess. But it seems like one of those games of give Paraguay a real chance to get something done here, but like for the fans and for the players and everything, it was like to the detriment of the game and player safety.
Right, right. Yeah, it was a weird one for sure. Um, I'm happy France won that game out of
Yeah.
a spite to Paraguay, and then what their what their Congress people are saying is just so out of
Yeah.
pocket and just
Yeah.
insanely racist. Some of the most racist things I've ever seen
Yeah.
come out of someone's mouth. And Mbappe fired back at him, which was like unexpected but warranted.
Yeah.
So I if any team deserved to lose at any of these games, it's definitely Paraguay, which is crazy considering I was rooting for them because of what they did against Germany.
Sure. Yeah.
And then it quickly flipped once I saw their attitude, and I was like, oh my god, I was like, this is
Yeah.
atrocious. Yeah, you're right, they got the whistle, and it makes you wonder why.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder. Yep.
I don't know, but I mean, yeah, France looks scary. Spain, I still feel like they're well balanced, I think, but I don't think they have the killers that France has, right?
Yeah.
Like, and France almost has multiple in every position, it feels like. So that's scary. We'll see. Back-to-back Marino late goals get Spain through. Can he
Crazy.
do it a third time? I don't know.
Crazy. Yeah, watching that game today, and the commentators saying like, every time he comes on the pitch, he's gonna score. It's like, they literally were like, if he scores, this will be the least shocking thing that happens. And it was 2 minutes later, he does. Unbelievable. You know, Eric Courtois going out in that game.
Yeah.
Tielemans going out with the injury. I don't know if you saw it. Looked like
Yeah.
nothing. Don't really understand why. I was watching the warm up and they showed him.
Yeah.
He did like a really strong back heel pass, and then
I,
it didn't
I
look
think
awkward.
FootMob just has it listed as a thigh injury. So
I don't know. I watched the whole thing from when he got injured and then went to the training staff, and it looked like nothing. So that was very unusual. Onana tore his ACL, or maybe just an ACL
yeah.
injury, but not great. The Courtois one was a weird one, and then Layman's came in and just had that blunder, which was just like,
Yeah.
sucks.
I mean,
sucks.
it sucks. Yeah, it's you know, it, that's just the nature of the goalkeeper position, right? Like
It could happen to anyone. It could have happened to Courtois. You don't want to
yeah.
believe it could happen to Courtois, but like it very well could have. It just sucks to be put in that situation. I mean, I get it, anything happens, but Layman's does not think he's playing this game. Like why
No.
why would
Yeah.
he? And I get it, you got to turn on, and as a professional athlete, you got to be ready. But tough for him. I don't even know, did he have to make any saves that game? I'm gonna look.
Yeah, I didn't look, but I think I mean that initial shot is good because it ends up bouncing like right before him. So I'll give him that grace of like
It was a
it
hit.
wasn't it wasn't, it wasn't the easiest shot to save, but I mean I felt like his body was positioned well enough that he should have been able to just grab that thing and
Yeah.
if not, like I don't know, you got to find a way to spring right back up and smother that ball, but Mikel Marino, he's that guy to come in late and grab a goal.
It's a nuisance. All right, last thing I think we really just talk about here is Holland.
Yeah.
He's coming in. He's played one less game than everyone else in this tournament, and he's got scoring and everything. Do you think Norway beats England?
I don't know. Like on paper, I think England's squad is certainly the better squad. And I kind of give them maybe a little bit more because so many of these English players will have played against Holland plenty of times at this point.
Right. That's a
So
big
there's
one.
not that unknown or that like fear when he's, storming at you full sprint.
Yep.
But then it makes me think, well, does Norway just feed into that and like almost use Holland as bait and then rely on the other guys to try and get either the goals or get into space, and then eventually they have to leave Holland and they can find him with a cross or whatever. I don't know, but I think it'll be a good game. I think seeing the way Norway played against Brazil, they got the fight. They got the fight that I want the U.S. to have, basically, and
That's what I had. That's
they
what I had
also
ready.
they also have a Holland to not only fight but
That's
get the
nice
goals.
too. That's nice too. USA with Holland would be pretty sick.
Wow.
Mark Guehi's hurt, so he won't be playing tomorrow. So it looks like
Okay.
projected roster is going to be Dan Burns and Eric Konsa starting. that's the red flag for
That is
England
a
that
red
I
flag.
see. Holland's gonna score this game. Until he
Yeah.
doesn't, it's a prove me wrong scenario. So England just has to expect him to
Mhm.
score at some point.
I want to see. I want to see their squad a little bit more here. Do you start? I don't know. I'd maybe start John Stones over
Burns.
Burns, probably. Yeah.
That's what I'm kind of leaning to.
Because even your Nico O'Reilly, Jed Spence, like I don't think they're surprisingly, this whole England back line I don't think is overly great defensively. Considering, how well these guys kind of show up for their club teams. But um yeah, I think there's certainly a Holland goal in this game. I think I think he'll really be up for it. One, because it's, a round of 16, but two, it's become probably like a proving point for him of like, yeah, you guys all know how I play, but like watch me still do this.
Right. They showed Declan Rice as doubtful with the virus. I can't imagine him not playing tomorrow because of being sick, but that'd
I
be.
would think he's in there, yeah.
I'd be shocked if he wasn't, but if he wasn't there, um, I smell trouble. And again, I
Yeah.
think Holland's going to drive him crazy, just like he does every team. Does Norway have what it takes, though?
I
To
think
keep England at bay, and I think they kind of do.
I think they do. I think they just have to be like at times when I've watched them play that it's a little bit too much of like just get the ball to Holland, and I understand why, obviously, but
Yeah,
I think against this England team, just because they do have the experience of going against him, they will need to just work the ball through some other players just to kind of ask some questions and maybe make England respect, I don't know, the left side or
sure.
whatever area. Because yeah, if you just pipeline straight to Holland, he can probably still get a goal out of that, but I don't think it'll be enough to like win the game.
No, I totally agree. Um, I am curious though what the world thinks about Norway. So Norway's the underdog here, but not
Yeah.
by much. Um, People are giving them a 25% chance to win.
Hmm.
So it's, I guess that's a little lower than I thought. But I could see this England team, man, kind of crashing out again. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't want to say they struggled against Mexico, but I think they made it closer than what they would have liked.
Yeah.
DR Congo wasn't far away. They drew Ghana. Croatia got a couple on them. And this team is more hurt now than when they were at the beginning of this tournament.
Yeah.
So they need a huge game from Jude. I think Saka needs to rise up a little bit.
Mhm.
Their midfield will be fine, but yeah, and then it's their back line. What is their back line really going to look like here?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if they want to like. I think I take Stones. Do you take Kanza or do you take Chalaba? I don't know. I
I don't
mean,
think you do Chalaba. I don't think that's the move. I think Stones is a good shout. I think if Holland is becoming a problem, maybe find a way to slide Nico Riley up and bring in Burns for additional height
mhm.
if Norway's putting a lot of pressure in the box. But I think Burns is going to be too slow to be a true center back here. Then you're going to be relying on Konza
Yeah.
to be cleaning up.
I mean, I also I kind of want to say like if Declan's available, you almost play him as a center back.
Oh man,
He's done it. He's obviously filled in for right back as well. But I think just because he has the pace and drive to like kind of keep up, I think. Obviously you lose him in the midfield, but
you got replacements there.
You got replacements. You got Mainu you can throw in there, you know. I don't know. It's that defensive end that's just the big worry mark for me for that team.
It's gonna be a fascinating game.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be sitting down. Are you working?
I am, but I'm gonna have it on and pop in, keep a close eye on it.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Your drink can wait.
Not now.
It can wait.
Yeah.
Well, 2 more games to go, and then we're on to the semis, so we're almost there.
Wow.
I've covered everything I wanted to cover. Is there anything else you want to say?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I'm a little annoyed that it's come down to the big teams again, but
I know
it's probably what's going to. So
yeah, I'm not shocked. I think these were the 7 outside of Norway, maybe for most. Again,
yeah.
I called them out as probably going pretty deep just because the Holland effect shows you can ride a striker pretty deep into this tournament. But yeah, I Switzerland too, I think is a slight surprise. You could swap them out with Colombia too, and again that PK could have gone, and then Colombia's here. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense, but we'll see, man. We'll see if an upset happens tomorrow. You never know. You never know.
I'm here for it.
You can only be a goat for so long. All right, man.
Come on, Holland, do it.
Do it. Let's leave it at that then. We'll catch you. Shoot, maybe just after this round ends, we'll go again for a little recap.
Basically, yeah.
All right, Chad, it's been a pleasure. As
always.
Hooligans pitch. We're out. Boom. Boosh. Boosh.